Naomi Shihab Nye.
Good morning. Good morning. It feels so good just to walk in the door here. This was just written for this morning. Just meditating on words of the last few weeks. Civilizations. Olive oil soap stirred and cut and folded into neat paper wrappers since 1611. The naming of all the stars. Mathematics. A church with tears sealed between stones. A water well with shelves inside, holding pottery from time of the ancients. Hummus plates in 1937. 3 intact chickpeas decorating the centers. It was a tradition, still a tradition. What makes civilization anyway? Generations of children carrying book bags full of hope. Swizzles of pomegranate syrup. Stitcheries from the fingers of a million patient women. Strawberry fields, museums, schools, calligraphy. This morning I wanted to quote Carrie Clack, who was your speaker some weeks ago, and Carrie said so many wonderful things, as he always does, but I took notes, as I always do, and one thing he said was, what are we going to do to continue to push back the darkness? And when I listen to music like yours, so great, I don't feel the darkness. I feel only love and light and connection and hope and beauty. And I think when we experience art in any form, we feel that hope, that uplift, which is very helpful. And people keep asking poets during Poetry Month, what do we hold on to? How do we survive? So I thought I would share with you a few poems from countries in the news these days, and just see if they help you push back the darkness. Because for me, they're handholds, and for a long time, I have really tried to take time with voices from elsewhere, all over the world, but especially now, some of these. So don't let this pile scare you. Poems are very short. Hiba Abu Nada lived in Gaza, and she was a nutritionist, and she was 32 years old. Not just passing. Yesterday, a star said to the little light in my heart, we are not just transients passing. Do not die. Beneath this glow, some wanderers go on walking. You were first created out of love, so carry nothing but love to those who are trembling. Since we came of age, our ancient language taught us how to heal others with our longing, how to be a heavenly scent. Softly, we pass over wounds like purposeful gauze, a hint of relief, an aspirin. Oh, little light in me, don't die, even if all the galaxies of the world close in. Oh, little light in me, say, enter my heart in peace. All of you, come in. It was the first time I've ever heard a human want to be an aspirin. And I just really liked that. She was killed the week after she wrote that poem. This is from Lebanon, Fuad Rifka. And when I tried to pay him for the usage of this poem, he declined the money, saying, "I have used your poems many times and I have never once paid you." Fuad Rifka lived in Beirut. This is from Diary of a Woodcutter. Wrinkles in the lake and in the body, wrinkles in the stones and in memory, wrinkles in leaves of the air, wrinkles in the rain falling on everything. It's a time of wrinkles. Into the lake the sky slides. Into the sky the lake slides. Into the lake and the sky the world slides. And on the surface darkness floats. It takes time for light to reach the sea. It takes time for the star to touch the eye. Sometimes the wind takes time to rock the boat. And on land, it takes time to reap the harvest. Time ripens slowly under the crust. And suddenly, the summer sun and the grapes. An old pool, grass at the bottom, where a fish plays. It plays in the water that used to be a cloud, in the cloud that used to be water, the whole day that used to be night, the whole night that used to be day. From Iran, by Salman Harati. My father is a laborer. He comes to the farm with the last star of the morning sky and returns home with the first star of the evening sky. My father is the sun. From Palestine, Fadwa Tukan. I met her once. She was over 90, and I was very surprised that she was wearing extremely high heels and bright red lipstick. And I said, "Fadwa, you are so glamorous." And she said, "What else can I be?" She felt lucky still to live in the house that she had been born into, which for a Palestinian is really a gift of time. Fadwa Tukan. Enough for me to die on her earth, be buried in her, to melt and vanish into her soil, then sprout forth as a flower played with by a child from my country. Enough for me to remain in my country's embrace, to be in her close as a handful of dust, a sprig of grass, a flower. And from Adonis, from Lebanon, the beginning of the road. He read each day like a book and saw the world as a lantern in the night of his fury. He saw horizons come to him as friends. He read his directions in the faces of poetry and fire. From Mossab Abu Toha, who is from Gaza. He is currently in Syracuse. He has struggled and suffered a lot. Many members of his family have been killed. He feels quite guilty for being elsewhere and not being able to help them. He won the Pulitzer Prize for a piece of journalism that was printed in the New York Times. And he started writing to me when he was a teenager, saying he wanted to open some English language libraries because all of the kids in Gaza studied English. And so he asked me if I could get publishers and writers to send him books. And it was easier in those days to send boxes of books to Gaza than it has been ever since. And all his libraries, 4 of them were there. They became after-school places for tutoring for kids and theater arts where kids practiced plays, all kinds of things. They've all been bombed. They're gone. hard exercise. In Gaza, breathing is a task. Smiling is performing plastic surgery on one's own face. And rising in the morning, trying to survive another day, is coming back from the dead. Such beautiful voices. This poem is also from Gaza, and it's by Tariq Luthun. Yesterday, I was very honored at the fabulous San Antonio Book Festival. I hope some of you made it down there. I got to be on the panel Praise Song for the People, Poems from the Heart and Soul of Texas, edited by Amanda Johnston. This is one of my favorite anthologies that's come out of Texas in a long time because it's so positive. It's all praising of humanity, of people who are in Texas. And so afterwards, four of us, Vocab, Sanderson, who'll be here, I think, later this month, and Amanda and Saul and I took questions, and one of the questions was, isn't it really hard to praise when things are so horrible? And all I could think about was, if people in Gaza can send me poems through WhatsApp about a cup of coffee, I think we can handle it. For those we left behind. Tariq Luthun. Each day I ask my mother what we do when we can't fight and there is no money left to give. Tired, she raises her eyes from the dishes, her hands from the bath, and gives a gentle laugh, a sigh. We pray for whatever remains after the sea rises to swallow our shore. And this is by Lina Khalaf Tufaha. I was extremely happy that there were two books by Palestinians as the finalists for the National Book Award in the United States last year. And Lina's book, she lives in Seattle, won. She won the National Book Award last year. And I knew Lina when she had never yet sent a poem out. So that makes me really happy. This is called Reclamation Cento. In the mirror of my heart, you can find no shelter. One woman loses 15, maybe 20 members of her family, one garden at a time. I belong to the road, and nothing belongs to me. Out here, eyes find the edge that isn't one. I want nothing more from the passing days than the aroma of coffee, stronger than memory and sadder than sadness. We are all waiting for you, you who have come so far. Do not underestimate this rubble. And the book is called Something About Living. And I'm very happy, like a Rethinking Schools publication this year was Teaching Palestine. This is out of Wisconsin. Many teachers ask, well, we're not supposed to talk about that place in our schools, but these teachers decided to make a whole issue about it. Rethinking Schools, and it's gorgeous, and you can easily find parts of it online. It has art in it, lessons, history, poetry, so many brave people in the world. And a new Palestinian poet I am introduced to just this week, Andrew Callis. He's living in Baltimore, and his book is called Which Seeds Will Grow. Okay. I set my phone for time. I never do that, but I see other people do it, so I'm trying to. Oh gosh, it set it. I just noticed it set it for 23 hours and 4 minutes. No. So this one seemed, since I had never read this book. Okay, I'll read a few more here. So Andrew, this is called Praying the Sorrowful Mysteries in Spring. That's just a beautiful title for anyone from anywhere. In this new brightness, the crown of thorns is made of spikes of light, shining through tree leaves, scattering the light, shattered on the ground, like silver pieces of white fire shining, cracking into lines. Then the warmth, and everywhere is a new world already that breathes so loudly. Its gusts shake the trees to their roots and shake the rose petals from their stems until the floor is streaked with spilled pinks and reds and whites. And remember, Andrew lives in Baltimore. I was there for a blizzard this winter in Baltimore, kind of trapped. So that means a lot if you live in Baltimore. The spring coming. And this is by a dear friend, Zaina Azam, who was the poet laureate of Alexandria, Virginia for the past few years. She is Palestinian, and here is one of her poems called Speak. And then she is quoting a Gazan child that just said, the child said, "I need to speak." So I would like to dedicate this to the child and to Zaina, and also to one of my mother's old friends who sent me an email last week, "I think you need to pipe down." And I didn't write her back because I really think we all need to pipe up. So, speak to our sisters, to the mourning doves, to the rivers stilled by absent winds. Speak with soft voices today, hoarse voices tomorrow, to all who open their ears to your story. Words can be fervent prayers, eager and cleansing as a rainstorm. Choose to remember or not to remember, forgive or not to forgive anyone who hurt you. Each time you speak, the prick of a memory fades, a thorn withers to dullness. Some of us are in lush, verdant fields. Birds lift up their songs with ours. The rivers offer sturdy stones. You will always be beautiful. Thanks. Thank you all for listening. So I really think these are our handholds. The voices of other human beings, one of our handholds. Thanks to the internet, they're not hard to find. You can just Google Gaza poetry. You can Google a group that's been going on for years now called We Are Not Numbers out of Gaza. Very important group, and Jewish Voice for Peace has been a strong supporter of We Are Not Numbers. And this is one from another brother here in Texas, Dr. Fadi Judah, who lives in Houston. He is Palestinian. He lives, not only because he lives in the medical world and so sees a lot of suffering, but because he is an incredibly sensitive soul. His wife is also a doctor. She's also Palestinian. She was on the team which created the Moderna vaccine for COVID. Anyway, I revere both of them, and here's a poem by Fadi, and I just dedicate it to the peace which all poets and people such as yourselves dream of, and artists and teachers worldwide. And out of nowhere, a girl receives an ovation from her rescuers, all men, on their knees and bellies, clearing the man-made rubble with their bare hands, disfigured by dust into ghosts. All disasters are natural, including this one, because humans are natural. The rescuers tell her she's incredible, powerful, and for a split second, before the weight of her family's disappearance sinks her, she smiles like a child who lived for 7 years above ground receiving praise. Thank you.
And now I invite you to sink into the space between the words, however powerful and wonderful the words are. And those words were powerful and wonderful. However big your dreams may be, and your dreams are wonderful. In the silence, you and I are called to more. To the peace that passes all understanding, all explanation, all description. Breathing into this precious present moment here, now. Feel yourself open to all that is and all that is becoming. There is nothing you need to do to make this happen. This is your birthright. To swim in the precious present moment in peace. And if your mind wanders off to other thoughts, as minds will do, invite yourself back to this moment, this precious present moment, and the deep peace now and now. And now. And from this place of peace, won't you send forth your blessing, your love, your compassion? Send it to a loved one first. Someone you know and love. Simply open your peace, your love, your compassion. And then from that same space, open to bless and love all beings and all nations. May you, may we, may all beings be blessed by your willingness to do this. And so it is. Amen.